Here's the tutorial, the video tutorial for the nutrition label assignment. First of all, those of you who were in Miss Smith's class prior to leaving Egypt, you really have two assignments that you can be working on. The first is the nutrition essay, and the information for that is here. And then second is the food label analysis. Now, all students should be working on the food label analysis right now, and that's what this tutorial is about. So for the food label analysis, what you need to do is open up two separate documents which you're going to be using with one another. The first is the Google Doc version of the food label worksheet. So open that in one tab, and then the second is the food label examples, and you want to open that in another tab. So the food label analysis worksheet would look like this when you open it up in a Google Doc. This you will not be able to edit. So what you'll want to do is go to the File menu and then select Make a Copy. Now that you've made a copy, this will be your Google Docs, so it will actually save into your Google Docs account and you'll be able to edit it however you like. You can go to the other one and close it, and now you have this one that you can work on. The second document is example food labels. So there are, in this document, we'll zoom in a little bit, there are 4 different nutrition facts food labels. And you're going to use the information from these food labels in order to complete this worksheet. So for example, the first part of this worksheet says, complete the table below using the information from the food labels. So first of all, food A, what is the serving size on food A? So I need to look at the label and find the serving size, which is right here, 50 grams. So you can enter 50 grams, or just 50g would be okay. Do the same for food B, food C, food D, and then complete the rest of that table. Second question says in the table below, write the values per 100 grams of each food. See, nutrition labels list the serving size in whatever amount really that the manufacturer wants to put. So some might be, for example, 50 grams, some might be 175. Some might be 49, some might be 28. In order to accurately compare the values of fat, protein, etc. in different foods, we have to be sure that we're looking at the same amount. So right now, if we look at these two labels, food A and food C, it appears as though there's a lot more calories in food C than there is in food A, which only has 23 calories. The problem is this 23 calories is based on a serving size of only 50 grams. If we had equal serving sizes, for example, if we had 100 grams of this food and we had 100 grams of this food, how then would the calories compare? Maybe food A actually has more calories than food C. Maybe food C actually does have more calories, or maybe they have the same amount of calories. So what we need to do is do a little bit of math to figure out how many calories there would be in this food if there was 100 grams. So on the worksheet there's actually a formula for that. It says you take 100 grams, divide by the serving size, and then you multiply the value from the food. So for example, here it says 23 calories. So if I want to know how many calories there are in 50 grams of, or in 100 grams of this food, what I do is I take the numbers 50, which is the serving size, and the number of servings here, and plug it into this formula. So for example, I could do 100 grams divided by the serving size, which was 50, times the value from the food label, which was 23. That would give me a total value of 46. So you're going to do that for each of these quantities. The serving size for food A, food B, food C. And this is actually whatever the number that is written here. So serving size for A would be 50 grams. Serving size for food B is 28 grams. Serving size for food C is 175 grams. And then serving size for food D is 49 grams. Now, how do I figure out the total fat per 100 grams? Let's start with food A. Total fat. So for food A has 2 grams of total fat. So using our formula, we do 100 grams times the serving size, which is 50 grams, times the value from the food label, which was 2 grams. So 100 divided by 50, this here, 100 divided by 50 grams would be 2, times the value from the food label was 2 grams. So 2 times 2 is 4 grams. For food B, total fat, what you would do is take 28 grams, plug it into that formula. Total fat of 7 grams, plug it into the formula. Do the math, and then enter your numbers here. The rest of the questions and the tables on this worksheet are fairly self-explanatory. If you do have questions about how to complete one of these answers, use the discussion board that's on Moodle, and then either myself or one of the other students can answer your question for you. After you have completed this worksheet, you need to be sure that the sharing settings are set such that everybody at Cairo American College, or at least people with the link, can view and access your document. That way I will be able to check that you've completed the assignment and be able to check your answers. Click Save. Once you've done that, you need to copy the URL of your Google Doc. So we'll select the entire URL, do Command C or Control C for copy. And then back on your Moodle page, there is another link. You can either use this link here, which it says use this link to submit your most recent homework, or you can use the link that's right here, Assignment 2, Food Label Analysis.